You're listening to the Nerd of Godcast, that place on the Venn diagram of life where Christ culture and nerd culture find sweet, sweet two-player co-op.
Hello, and welcome back to your Nerd of Godcast, that place where faith and fandom are rustling up 1.21 gigawatts of quarters and headed back to 1980s arcades for a lot of fun with the donkeys and the Kongs and everything in between. My name is Tony T, and I'm going to be taking you on this journey to the Throwback Machine, but I'm not going to be doing it by myself. He is with me, as always, the very best at being the very worst. It's Steve-O Supremo.
You know what, Tony? Today, you can call me Al, but I know why I'm soft in the middle.
Oh, well, then I can be your bodyguard, and you can be my long-lost pal. Speaking of my bodyguard, sitting on my right and making sure that my body is guarded, he is often imitated, never successfully duplicated. It's the big man, Quentin Gregory. Now, thank you for that soft touch.
Yeah, no, I'm here for you, Mr. President.
Get down!
And over at the far end of the table, he is good looking, one of the best guys you're ever going to meet until you're on the wrong side of a PvP match with him. Say wagwan to your friend and mine, Jamaican Ollie.
Wagwan.
What's going on, man?
I also gave Oliver a soft touch.
No more soft touching tonight, okay? Let's just say that soft touching is no longer something that we do. Over in the booth, pushing all the buttons that keep this bucket of bolts flying, it's our own resident smart guy, Nick, the engineer.
Hi.
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
Nick. And we are ready to get in this machine as we go back. We're going to be celebrating all things 80s. Oh, there's someone at the door, you guys. Hang on. Who is this? Oh, my goodness, everybody. It's Charlotte's dad, Pastor Mayor Rodney Cannon.
Tubular.
Rodney, it is good to have you back on the Nerd of Godcast. It has been a hot minute.
I heard there was new Coke.
Oh, goodness.
There was new Coke, but it was 40-something years ago. So,
You got any Tab?
if you want a tab, you got to pay for it. You got to order something.
Pepsi free?
You got a Pepsi, you got to pay for it. Yeah, so Rodney, thank you so much for being with us, man, because we are talking 80s, and I thought I need to strengthen my hand here by surrounding myself with as many people that were actually there, that don't just know the 80s anecdotally, the ones who you don't need to quote the old magic to because they were there when it was written. So, Ollie,
Yes.
you were there. You lived through every year of the 1980s.
That is true, yes.
Rodney, you lived through every year of the 1980s.
And I feel it every day.
And
if you had a crush on Winnie Cooper, it's time to take ibuprofen.
Listen, I did have a crush on Winnie Cooper. What would you do? Yeah, I did, man. Fred Savage, he never appreciated what he had. And, of course, Neff and Steven, you guys, you came along, you squeaked in just a little late.
Excuse me, squeaked. I was conceived in the 80s, sir.
I didn't need to know that. Did not.
I was born in September of 90.
I did not
9 months before that is 1989.
My parents started dating in the 80s, so that counts.
No,
Merry Christmas.
September 26th is the most common birthday in the United Kingdom.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah, too much information for us, Steven, but that's okay. That's all right. Listen,
It's Father Christmas.
we're glad that you're here. Whatever it took to make that happen. But more importantly than Steven and what his mom and dad were doing in the 80s, we are glad that you are here. And the best way for you to get connected with us is across all of the social media. Scotty Higas, tell us how our lovely listeners can play along.
Wherever there are people online who love Jesus and nerdy stuff, the Nerd of Godcast is there. Follow us on all the socials at Nerd of Godcast and visit nerdofgodcast.com to step into a whole world of faith and fandom. Level up your weekdays with the snack-sized inspiration of the Daily Nerd Devo. Support this ministry as a patron and get early and exclusive content. And join our online small group, the Nerd of God Squad, on Facebook, where you can share some memes and live your dreams. Discover it all at nerdofgodcast.com. Now, back to the show.
And we are back. And just to get to know you guys a little bit more, sometimes we like to open up a little icebreaker to kind of feel it out and see who you are and how you live in. And we're going to do that with a quick question in a game that we call If We Were.
Character from a movie or a video game, a famous flying geese from somewhere deep in space. It's time to find out from the hisses and hers. We're gonna play a game called If We Were.
And since we're throwing it back to the decade of the 80s, tonight's If We Were is one of the finest exports of that decade, the animated series of the 1980s, truly benchmark in the evolution of animation, and memorable characters, franchises, action figures, and things like that, breakfast cereals that came out of it. And we want to know what you would be if you were an 80s cartoon show. And I'm not just looking for a specific character. I'm talking the aesthetic, the vibe, the theme of the whole show. If you were an 80s cartoon series, what show would you be? Oliver.
Well, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, but I have to say the Transformers. It was my absolute favorite cartoon during that time frame.
Yeah.
I loved it. I mean, just knowing that robots could be in disguise. as
and on the roads.
Yes.
And in the sea.
And in the air and on your desk at Soundwave or Blaster.
Listen, are you a Soundwave guy or a Blaster guy?
I'm really, really Disney at heart, so I'm always rooting for the good guy. So Blaster.
You're a Blaster guy, yeah. And if you were not from the 80s and you don't remember, Blaster and Soundwave were the cassette players, and cassette was what we used to call Spotify. You just needed a pencil to be able to use it. They were the ones that transformed Blaster into a boombox,
yes,
and Soundwave into a Walkman.
Mm-hmm. Soundwave was so cool. He had the coolest voice. He had that
auto-tune
voice.
He was definitely cool. Plus, he had like Laserbeak and Ravage and Rumble and
Pop
Frenzy.
out of the cassette.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so Neff, if you were an 80s cartoon show, what would you be?
I would be the great Silverhawks.
Silverhawks.
Great call.
Yeah.
Deep cut, buddy.
In my opinion, the greatest theme and intro in any 80s cartoon show.
It was a bop. And they were because they firmly establishes that they're partly human and partly real, or partly metal and partly real.
Partly steel. Yeah,
but that was really cool. It was a cool. So Silverhawks was a bunch of
Tallyhawk.
They were crime fighters in space.
Yeah,
with metallic organic bodies.
They were sick.
They were cyborgs.
And then they could touch their arms to their sides and pull them out, and they'd have wings.
Yeah, and then they would have like masks that they would just do like this thing where they would like.
Yeah, and then they all had these cool
the
face masks.
Oh.
Yeah, aesthetically very cool.
Underrated.
Weird bad guys in that show.
Very weird bad guys, but underrated show, and I think sometimes I feel a little underrated.
So why? That's it. So you feel underrated. You're flashy, but never fully appreciated for your flashiness.
Exactly.
Aw, Neff, I'm sorry, buddy. Okay. Moving over to this table, how about you, Pastor Mayor Rodney Cannon? What 80s cartoon would you be?
I would come home from school straight to the Disney afternoon.
Oh, yeah.
And most Disney afternoon, you could just run one right into the other. But the one I would say was Rescue Rangers, Chippendale's Rescue Rangers.
Really?
Yeah. That whole vibe. I did have a crush on Gadget, but I'm working that out with my therapist.
Okay. So again, I'll ask the same question I asked for Ollie when it was the Soundwave Blaster thing. Chip or Dale?
Dale.
So more of the Hawaiian shirt Magnum PI vibe.
Yeah, more of the fun, the goofy than the straight lace.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that they were like legit just Indiana Jones and Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Had no idea then. Only until the advent of memes did I put that together.
Did you watch the Disney Plus remake?
I did.
I loved it.
Yeah,
it was so funny.
It didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
It paid homage to the original while making it entertaining for the new crowd.
And
it was great.
It rescued the reputation of ugly Sonic the Hedgehog.
It did.
Which was a really nice touch there. Steve-O!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Very good, but yeah, definitely mostly kind of popular in the 90s, but definitely firmly rooted in the 80s.
Well, that's exactly right.
There you go.
I peaked in the 90s, and so did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So, what Ninja Turtle would you be if you were a Ninja Turtle?
Probably Donatello.
Donatello, that's fair. That's fair.
Underrated.
Sadler, what would you be, Nick the Engineer, if you were an 80s cartoon show? Do you have an answer?
Yeah, Inspector Gadget.
That
Yeah.
I mean,
That tracks.
could not be a better answer for you, buddy. Could not be a better answer. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Go, Sadler, go.
Yeah, you know the thing is that he wouldn't be Inspector Gadget though. He would be Penny and Brain, going around actually solving all the problems for people and never getting any of the credit. That would be
Yes.
That's Nick's lot in life.
Yeah.
If I had to be an 80s cartoon show just for the vibe, the aesthetic, and the feel of it, like and this might not sound like I mean, I wish I could be as cool as Transformers or Chip and Dale or I wish I could be like Thundercats or G.I. Joe, but you know what? I feel very, very comfortable with myself in saying I'm a Care Bear.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Just
What would your belly icon be, or is it the chest?
oh yeah.
His
That
belly.
was the belly.
A 20-sided die. I don't know. No, I have no idea. What? Maybe
Care
that should
Bear
be. Maybe
stare.
yeah. Maybe that should be like our. If we were.
Bible.
If you were a Care Bear, what would your belly think? That's what I wanted the Nerd of God Squad to let us know. If you were a Care Bear, what? Because they all had different icons. So Tenderheart Bear had the big heart, and Bedtime Bear had like a little moon with a little cap on it, right?
And there
like
was
a star.
manic depressed bear had like a teardrop.
Just a
or
bottle of
something.
medication. It was Grumpy Bear had like a little rain cloud on it. Grumpy Bear is my favorite bear. Like Good Luck
And then
Bear
they-
had the clover.
And then they have the Care Bear cousins.
Yeah,
Cousin
yeah.
Call. I remember
Braveheart Lion.
Lion,
Yeah.
because they
I
made
think
it. They had a
that's
movie. I don't know if it was called the Care Bears movie, but I watched the crap out of the movie.
I had that VHS.
Where there's like
What's a
there's like
VHS?
it's like a DVD, but older.
Yeah,
you
let
have
us
to
know.
rewind it.
Let us
What's
know.
a DVD?
Let us know what cartoon you would be, and let us know what Care Bear what your Care Bear icon would be. And if you're not a Care Bear fan, then let us know what your My Little Pony tramp stamp would be. And you can do that on all of our social medias. Use hashtag if we were. You guys, this is something we're going to throw into a little bit of a different gear for, but we like to do this every episode, just kind of loosen up our minds and get us thinking, right, with something we call the lightning round. This is a trivia contest, and every week we've been doing trivia from the Bible, but because it's an 80s thing, we're going to do some 80s trivia today, okay? So if you know the answer, just
So
ring
either
in.
way, Rodney has the upper hand.
Rodney and Oliver. Rodney and Ollie, yeah. So if you know, just say your name to ring in, and here we go. Please tell me the code that you would put in if you were playing a Konami game and you wanted to power Oliver.
Up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start.
That is exactly correct. What slang term was used for young urban professionals who dressed in a preppy style? And
Rodney.
Yuppies.
Yuppies.
Yuppies is correct.
Yep.
One of these questions, I'll hear the end of it.
I'll never hear the end of it.
What does the letters BFG stand for in the 1982 children's book by Roald Dahl?
Oh, Neff.
Neff.
Big friendly giant.
That is exactly right, Neff. What TV series about a hospital ended with a shot of a snow globe and a surprise twist about how the story came about?
Steven?
Steven.
Was it St. Elsewhere?
It was St. Elsewhere.
Nice.
All right, so now we got one last question. It's a dead heat here. Very, very good. Okay, let me find a good one here. How many different models did the DeLorean Motor Company produce?
Neff.
Neff.
12.
12 is incorrect.
Oliver.
1. It was 1. They only produced the one vehicle.
Then why do they have a DMC 12?
You know what? Because it only worked 12 hours of the day.
No,
The
that
rest
makes
of it
sense.
needed-
I think it was actually I had like a 12 valve motor. It was like a
maybe that's
V12
why.
or something.
Whoa,
Like that.
okay.
Oliver's a car guy.
All of a sudden, Oliver hitches up his coveralls and
I
puts his
think.
tool belt down. I did not realize that Oliver just came here from his garage.
And also, if you let it out in the sun too long, you can cook an egg on it.
But just don't feed it after
Stainless
bed.
steel.
I was looking for the connection to the number 12 by that.
Well, it takes 12
Like
minutes.
a dozen eggs. You could cook
Yeah.
a dozen eggs on it. It makes perfect sense now. John DeLorean was a genius. Okay, well, that great job, everybody, on the trivia thing. Great job, Oliver, for doing slightly better than everybody else.
He is the oldest one, so he got an advantage there.
I'm throwing it back to the booth tonight because we need to have a conversation about something serious that's happening in tonight's Best Thing Ever! Brought to you by the 3D Print Nook. Nick Sadler, tell us how things are going on our Best Thing Ever tonight.
Yeah, so last week, right, we had Dwight Schrute versus Abid Nadir.
That one
Yeah.
was giving me anxiety.
Any guesses on who may have won?
When I
that?
first looked at it, it was a shutout for Dwight Schrute. And then I looked at it like 2 days later, and it was almost the complete opposite. It was like Abed was leading the pack by a lot.
So this
But
was
that
a seesaw.
It was several
Yeah.
days after. I've not checked it since.
Well, last week, Tony gave a pretty good case. He said, "Give me a Christmas present. Give me Abed."
Give me Abed. Give me Abed or give me nothing. I don't want to say death.
Well,
it's not that important to me.
Merry Christmas, Tony, because
Hey!
75% of the vote.
Wow.
Abed Nadir pulls through.
The
All
upset.
right.
75.
Nerd of God Squad, you really showed up on this one. And,
Is that the
and-
biggest upset this year?
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
I don't think so. But I will receive that as a personal favor. Thank you, Nerd of God Squad. If you ever need anything someday, you can call upon me and I will perform that favor. So who's on the docket this week? Do you know?
So on the docket this week, we have Sheldon versus Dexter.
So Dexter's Lab, Dexter?
Or Dexter the
Yes.
serial killer.
No, not Dexter the serial killer. Dexter's Lab versus Sheldon Cooper.
Yep.
I wish I could say this was going to be a contentious challenge,
I don't
but
think so. I think Dexter's going to ironically, he's going to get killed by Sheldon.
oh, there you go. Well, where can they vote for this, Nick?
They can vote for it at the nerdofgodcast.com or on our Facebook page, the Nerd of Godcast.
Yeah, jump over to Nerd of God Squad and you can vote there for this best thing ever. Man, Pastor Rodney coming in there with that bass kick there. Really feel that in my regions. Is nice.
You know I'm all about it.
I have been watching with lovely Lady Lismati, formerly of the Nerd of Godcast, the Star Trek movies. We watched the trilogy of Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home. And then we skipped 5, The Final Frontier, as any Star Trek fan should do because it's terrible. And then we jumped straight into The Undiscovered Country 6. So now we are done with the 1980s Star Trek movies. And she's like, so what do we watch now? And I said, The Next Generation. And she boo-hooed. 1987 brought us The Next Generation. And she's like, I don't want to watch The Next Generation. I like the original crew. And I said, but you're wrong.
Just wait.
but you're wrong. And I remember, though, at the time when Next Generation came out, that there was a lot of people that were detractors from it. Fairly enough, it took a little bit of time to kind of get its traction and kind of discover its identity. But people didn't like the idea of rebooting or kind of like doing a sequel to Star Trek. And it's funny, all these years later, we've kind of accepted the Next Generation crew as a legitimate Star Trek crew. But at the time, it just wasn't something that you thought they should have done. And I want to talk about reboots because it was the idea of like a reboot or a sequel or kind of a refresh of a franchise that inspired this episode. I was scrolling down Facebook, as one does, and I found a picture of the cast of the movie The Breakfast Club. You guys remember The Breakfast Club?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't You Forget About Me, and it was a banner year at the Bender house. So and it was they're all older now. So it was all of them in their 2025 state and age, and they were all wearing T-shirts that said The Breakfast Club Part 2. And it had a little description about how they were going to be making, now in production, The Breakfast Club Part 2, and it would be a continuation of the story and where all those characters now. And the picture was obviously AI generated, and the whole idea and the pitch of the movie was obviously far-fetched and ridiculous. It was just clickbait, and there's no basis of reality that they would make a Breakfast Club movie 2. And why would they make a Breakfast Club 2? Like, the story was told, you don't need, at least not now. Like, why are we interested in finding out what the 60-year-old version of those characters are up to?
And how long Bender has been in jail.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no Breakfast Club 2 happening. And I was just thinking, like, even the description of it that they put in this fraudulent post was ridiculous and unappealing. And then I started thinking about all of the movies from the 80s, all of the franchises from the 80s that did get sequels or reboots that were completely unnecessary and so poorly done. And I'm hoping you guys, we can talk about this a little bit tonight. It'll kind of get us into the vibe of the 80s being best served in the 80s and maybe not beyond that. Let your memories be good memories and don't try to go back and milk them for modern entertainment fodder. The first time I was really aware that they were making something that they shouldn't be making was on a very obscure Nintendo Entertainment System game that was billed as a sequel to the movie The Goonies.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the game Goonies 2?
Yes.
No.
I mean, I never
Nah.
played it. I am familiar with it.
I knew it existed.
Yeah, it is very loosely related to the you play as Mikey, who runs around all of these mazes, attacking various animals and fratellis with his yo-yo. As everybody knows, Mikey from the Goonies has a yo-yo
He
that
never
he
leaves the
uses.
house without it.
That's right.
That and his inhaler are the two main
The two
things.
And he kills animals?
and the fratellis, he attacks them and fights through a series of things.
Does he kiss older women in the dark?
Well, if the parts of him that don't work so well catch up with the ones that do, so he and the whole object of this game is to rescue the Goonies' friend Annie the Mermaid.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Obviously, as you remember
Yeah.
from the movie, Annie the Mermaid
Who
was
would forget?
She was there with the octopus.
with the octopus. That's exactly right. So a really weird, like maybe it seemed like they had a game that they were making where you had to rescue an octopus, and they just kind of threw the a digitized version of Cyndi Lauper's Good Enough into it and said, this is a Goonies game, obviously. But I remember even as a kid playing that and going, this doesn't feel very Goonies. Like, I don't know why they made this. And there's so many more reboots and sequels that just didn't need to be. Can you think of any 80s franchises that were dug up from the grave and given life again that probably needed to just stay as good memories?
I would say, I mean, the obvious one is Ghostbusters, but
Are you referring to 2016?
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about that.
But that's literally
I don't want to talk about
We're
it.
literally talking about these things.
I know, but I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, all right, okay.
I would say the Indiana Jones franchise. I feel like The Last Crusade was like the perfect ending.
1989, Last Crusade.
It was the perfect ending to that trilogy. I don't think we needed any more unless we were doing like young Indiana Jones, but like we kept with Harrison Ford and we got The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which was a movie.
That it was.
So
It was
yeah,
a movie.
I think that's a solid answer. And for some reason I didn't really consider Indiana Jones being like an 80s franchise, but it 100% is. Like
Yeah.
it's a whole trilogy that existed in the 80s.
and it's one of the reasons why we have PG-13 ratings.
That's correct.
The Dial of Destiny was
Chilled monkey
okay,
brains.
but
The Dial of Destiny wasn't bad.
It was okay, but it was only
unnecessary.
It was only okay because we had just come out of the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which is like, slapping yourself in the face with a thing of beef jerky because it feels good when you stop doing it,
and they immediately retcon. They were like, this guy Shia LaBeouf died in the war.
Yeah. Well, just nobody wanted to see that again, right? Okay. Anybody else? Another franchise that maybe they should have just left alone.
Karate Kid.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. After which Karate Kid?
3.
Okay, so you get the Ralph Macchio trilogy. You'll
Yeah.
give a pass to.
Yeah.
So the next Karate Kid was that Hilary Duff?
Hilary Swank.
Hilary Swank. Oh yeah. This is a different Hillary. Hillary Rodham Clinton is a Hillary Swank. It was $1 Million Baby the whole time. I don't think I ever saw it. Not good.
That was my first Karate Kid.
Was the next Karate Kid?
Yeah, I was very confused.
So does it have a place in your heart that does it get a little bit of grace because it was your first exposure to that world?
No.
Was Miyagi in it?
Yes.
Huh.
That's the connection between the two.
It's like the only connection.
But Cobra
No,
Kai's
Jackie
not bad.
Chan was in it, but it wasn't. They weren't teaching karate; they were teaching kung fu. It was a weird thing. Cobra Kai isn't bad, but I think Cobra Kai is going back and trying to tie all those things together and make it all work out. But we're, okay.
I'm all about Cobra Kai.
If you were Team Johnny in Karate Kid at the end, where Ralph Macchio cheated, then Cobra Kai's your.
So that's a
jam.
great statement, Stephen. Let's pull the camera back and ask some people who were actually there. Oliver, do you remember seeing the Karate Kid as a child?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Was anybody Team Johnny at the time?
No.
No. It's
No,
ridiculous.
and it wasn't an
Nobody
illegal
was
kick.
Team Johnny.
I mean, I'm not.
There
Team
were
Johnny,
so
I'm just-
many kicks to the face throughout the entire tournament.
I think that whole idea of Johnny was the real victim and that Ralph Macchio was the villain in karate, like that is somebody coming back and doing revisionist history. Nobody walked out of Karate Kid and thought Johnny should have ended up with Allie, with Elizabeth Shue. Yeah, nobody thought that. But I mean, so that to me is a great look at the generation gap and how people think about it, right? But Karate Kid spinning off into Cobra Kai does give us the ability to look back at it that way, and that is a fun alternate take on it. What else we got?
I mean, so I'm gonna say this one, although I do think that there is some very good things that have come from it.
Okay.
But the majority of the the post 80s era of this has just been muddled, and that's Transformers.
2 good movies and like 5 terrible ones.
Yeah.
And honestly,
No, I didn't see whatever the newest one was. I know you really liked it, Neff. The one that came out like a year
what was
or two
the newest
ago.
one?
Which
Bumblebee?
one?
Oh no, Transformers 1.
No,
Transformers
Rise of the Beast.
Rise of the Beast. I've heard
Oh,
that
yeah,
one wasn't
it was
bad.
okay.
It was pretty fun.
It was okay. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good. It was probably the 3rd best of all the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
That's not hard.
No, it was
Bumblebee
not.
Bumblebee was
Bumblebee
good.
was fantastic.
Bumblebee is the 2nd best of all the Transformers movies, in my opinion.
No, I agree. But
Yeah, no, but even some of the Transformers TV series were just pretty lackluster.
listen, I
Agreed.
loved
Agreed.
Beast Wars when I was a kid.
I think Beast Wars gets a light pass, but like the ones where they're redoing the Generation 1 Transformers are just, every one of them is like, it's almost like the Ninja Turtles. Like keep doing Ninja Turtles, like a copy of a copy of a copy. It's multiplicity. Yeah.
Agreed.
Anybody else have a movie or something that was a spinoff or a reboot and it did not work out the way?
It's not really a reboot, not really a spin-off, but special editions of things. E.T., Star Wars.
So remember when they came out with E.T. on DVD or whatever it was, and they like CGI'd the guns out of the hands of the special agents and just gave them flashlights?
Yeah.
Yeah, or walkie-talkies.
I
Like if they're yeah.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Even Steven were like, no, that was bad. That was dumb.
Yeah.
And then all the special editions of the original trilogy. So much unnecessary stuff added to Star Wars.
I'm going to holler, and no one will hear her, but I will tell you what she says. Nikisha, how do you feel about the special editions of Star Wars via the theatrical versions? Leave well enough alone. That is I would call that a definitive final answer there. Yeah. Did you guys see the RoboCop remake?
With Carl Urban?
Yeah.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
You're thinking are you thinking of Judge Dredd?
I'm thinking of Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
Who was the guy in the? I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Who
Who was it? See, obviously a cultural staple.
Peter
Sam Jackson was in it.
Maybe.
I think Michael Keaton was in it.
Michael Keaton was in it. The Batman.
Yeah.
All
Mr.
right.
Mom.
Okay, so we'll move on from RoboCop.
Steve?
The Dudley Moore movie where he was like a millionaire but he's drunk all the time.
Arthur?
Yeah.
Arthur, yeah.
Great soundtrack, right? Christopher Cross.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they remade it with what's his name?
Russell Brand.
Russell Brand.
Yeah.
So it was so much worse. Like the original one, I love the original one.
Yeah.
The remake was absolute garbage.
But I think that's because Dudley Moore just actually was like he wasn't sober.
He was
even-
actually drunk the whole
But
time.
I think that's his natural state. Like he doesn't need to drink alcohol. He's just drunk.
Well, anything when you take Liza Minnelli out of it, you create a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
It's just...
By the way, RoboCop was Joel Kinnaman, aka Rick Flag Jr.
I did not know that. The one thing about that RoboCop movie that I didn't like, and I didn't see it, but just in all the marketing and stuff like that, was that his hands were exposed. Like it was just he had real hands at the end of his mechanical arms, and I just thought that was weird because it was like, is he wearing a RoboCop suit? Because I thought the whole idea was his body was completely decimated. It was basically just like a head and a spinal cord or whatever that got put into the robot thing by OCP. I don't know. I didn't see it. Do you remember the remake of Red Dawn? Do you remember Red Dawn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the
You
original
remember the original Red
Yeah,
Dawn?
the original was awesome. I didn't see the remake
with Chris
because
Hemsworth and Josh Peck.
Yeah.
I didn't see
there's
it
no
either.
way it could have lived up.
No way.
Because it was just unnamed fictional country, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but they ended up like it was supposed to be China,
And they changed it.
and they changed it because of the pressure from like China's like, well, we're not going to show this in our country, and they're like, but that's so much money for us, so it's going to be, and they might have changed it to Korea or something like that, but they definitely
I think
backed
it was
off.
a fictional. They made it a fictional Asian country.
Yeah,
Well, that's just where we are. I mean, the Top Gun Maverick. Who are the bad guys?
Oh yeah, Top Gun Maverick was
critics.
good.
Yeah.
the same thing in Captain America: Brave New World. Like, would we really be going to war with Japan over adamantium? Like Japan, that like the fierce army, the military force and might of Japan. I think it was intended to be, well, we're going to struggle with China. We're going to have some real international tension here. You can't do that. Okay, well, it's going to be Japan then. And I think
They're our friends.
They were throwing a bone to my grandparents' generation.
that's right. It's for the greatest generation. Cotton Hill. Like, I killed me.
Fitty Man.
Fitty Man.
So this is kind of
Wait. Time out. I have to go back to this because like we're talking about like Red Dawn and stuff like that. In the 80s, and I don't know that we have this in the ongoing now, But in the 80s, there was a villain on the planet. Like, we had bad guys, and we were all, it didn't matter where you came. We were all universally, it felt like, in agreement, America good,
Soviet Union,
Russia bad, right?
Yeah, I saw Rocky IV.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw Red Dawn.
Yeah. So the day of the Challenger explosion in January of 1986.
Yeah.
I watched it happen. We lived over in that area at the time, and I was in second grade maybe, and we would sit around, me and my buddies, on the bus ride back from school, talking about how the Russians did it. How they sabotaged the space shuttle and it blew up. And I mean, I was convinced that the Soviet Union, that was their way to get at us.
I have pictures of that explosion, by the way.
Like photographs?
Yeah,
or?
my grandfather was taking pictures of the shuttle launch,
Oh.
and all you see is like shuttle explosion. And
Yeah,
it's like, oh,
we all watched that on TV. It was a big deal because Krista McAuliffe, the teacher, was going up there. Did you know that it was originally planned for Big Bird to go up there? Like actual Big Bird, Carol Spinney was going to go on the Challenger.
Yikes!
Could you imagine a bunch of kids watching Big Bird?
Oh my gosh.
I was so close, feathers would have fallen on me.
Oh man, like it's like a poultry from the heavens, manna.
I'm just wondering, would they have had like Carol Spinney wear the suit underneath the Big
The
Bird
space suit?
or just put Big Bird in a Big Bird space suit?
It would have been
Like,
Carol
how would they have done
Spinney
it?
in a spacesuit, in a Big Bird suit, in a spacesuit.
But
It
you
would have
don't-
been the turducken of Muppets.
He might have actually been okay. He would have been encased.
But you'd only
in all
have
of this.
use of one of her arms, though.
It
Russian
was a he.
nesting bird.
Yeah, it was a he.
Where would you ever think that Big Bird was a female?
Well, let me pause. So speaking of Wrath of Khan, a few minutes ago, I was speaking of Wrath of Khan.
Okay.
Ricardo Montalban was on a TV show in the 80s called Fantasy Island.
Yes.
Do you remember Fantasy Island?
I do.
The
Yes.
plane.
Yes.
Which,
Okay, boss.
and they remade Fantasy Island. I did not see it, but it was remade by who's the company that does all those horrible, awful, scary movies? Blumhouse.
Blumhouse.
Yeah. Remade Fantasy
I
Island.
thought you were talking about like the franchise scary movie.
No, like not that one. It was the Wayans brothers did Fantasy
Oh, no,
Island.
they did one. Everything the studio stole the rest of them from.
No, so how did that work?
It didn't. No, it didn't. It made no money.
Yeah.
Any other things that you can think? Are there any good ones? Any good ones that you say, okay, they remade this and that actually did work?
Oh, no,
Right-
I can't think of one.
Right now, I'm watching the remake of Matlock with
Kathy
Ooh,
Bates.
Kathy Bates.
I
yeah.
like it.
I like it.
I do like it.
I'm fully caught up. I'm waiting for the next couple of episodes to come on.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
good.
weird because it doesn't feel like a remake of Matlock because
Yes.
she acknowledges that the show Matlock exists.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Which is kind of very meta.
yes.
I tell you what, I didn't like Ghostbusters 2016. I really liked Ghostbusters Afterlife.
What about Frozen Empire?
But we don't talk about Frozen Empire.
That happened.
Frozen Empire was a live action version of the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
That was,
Okay.
Yeah.
If they
Oh.
would have done that as a TV show and done several episodes, you could put in zany characters that could control fire and stuff like that, and it would have been fine. But as a movie, it did not work.
But Afterlife was really good.
Yeah, Afterlife was excellent, excellent. What's the movie with Denzel? Oh,
Training Day.
The Equalizer.
Oh.
The Equalizer was a show in the 80s that
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
my dad watched. I didn't watch it. But yeah, so that was I thought those Denzel movies were good.
And then they got the Queen Latifah one now.
Oh, the TV show.
Yeah.
Is that still happening?
Yeah, there's a zany character that can
happened.
control fire.
Perfect.
It all worked out.
So Rodney, before you mentioned the Disney Afternoon, we talked about Chip and Dale's. That was a cool revisit of that franchise. I liked the remake of DuckTales that they did. The new animated DuckTales.
That was so good.
and a fantastic cast.
Lore, fantastic cast, all the good
so
stuff.
the Scrooge McDuck was played by
David Tennant.
David Tennant, which is fantastic casting. Huey, Dewey, and Louie were
It was Abed.
it was Abed. It was
Bobby
Ben
Moynihan.
Schwartz.
Bobby Moynihan,
And Ben
yeah,
Schwartz.
and Ben Schwartz.
Oh, okay.
So much fun. Worth a watch there.
And then Don Cheadle was Donald Duck at one point.
Was he really?
He was like Donald Duck got like an actual regular voice for like a moment, and it was Don Cheadle.
I did not know that, and that I'm feeling my face smile in response to that bit of information. I
pretty
think
great.
that's lovely. I think that Donald, because he was Navy, so War Machine, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So this is popular more so, I guess, with people from my generation, specifically people who were teenagers in the early to mid 2000s. but even though I do prefer the original, Love Don't Cost a Thing with Nick Cannon and Christina Milian was a remake of Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, okay.
With
Yeah.
Matthew
With
Modine.
was that Patrick Dempsey?
No, oh yeah, it's Patrick Dempsey. I don't know why I thought it was Matthew Modine. But yeah, I preferred the Can't Buy Me Love. That was one of my 80s VHSs that I watched.
Is that Extra Anchovies? Okay, there was a movie with Patrick Dempsey where he was. Yeah, give me the crickets. I'm used to it. There's a movie with Patrick Dempsey where he was a callboy, and
So he worked for a pizza restaurant that you could call him
no,
for pizza?
I know what you're talking about. I remember that movie now. I shouldn't, but I remember that movie now.
and if you ordered extra anchovies,
Yes.
that meant that.
I think it came out around the same time as Love Don't Cost a Thing.
You know what came out recently on Amazon that was actually really good?
If you say War of the Worlds, I'm going to punch you.
No. Roadhouse. They did
I liked that. Yeah.
with
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal
So-
and Conor McGregor.
Let me
It was
pause
crazy.
and go back to something here at the extra anchovies comment. No. This is something that people really need to understand about the 80s. And I don't know who was in charge. I don't know what our parents were all about.
Max
Ronald
Headroom was in charge.
But you, Oliver, you
Ronald
have
Reagan.
kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Oliver, you have kids. Rodney, you have kids. I have a kid. Have you experienced that first awkward moment of trying to show kids some of your time-honored classics and realizing that movies in the 80s were not made for kids?
Yes, Goonies.
Yeah.
Sandlot. You know, like what? Why was I allowed to watch this?
There was so much profanity, so many like inappropriate situations.
Well, that's because like the older generation, now I say grew up with, because it came out in the 70s, was Grease, is not family friendly at all. And my mom made me watch that when I was a child.
Neither is
Same.
Grease 2.
Grease too, but yeah, that's just because of Michelle Pfeiffer. She creates feelings in others that they
She
themselves
wants a
don't
cool
understand.
rider.
But yeah, like the 80s movies were so like even before you guys were just quoting some different movies before we started recording, and I'm going, boy, those are not appropriate things for children to say. Yeah, but I mean, we turned out fine, right?
For the most part.
Right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Tell me we're fine, please.
Yeah,
are we okay?
You're okay.
I don't feel okay. Okay. Well, so I was just trying to think about like different things that they would make remakes of, and I'm surprised they haven't made more. The Love Boat. Did they ever do a remake of The Love Boat?
I think they wanted to, and it never got off the ground.
No, they put it on an island now.
The remake of you guys remember Last Starfighter?
Yes.
Loved.
I'm surprised they haven't done a remake of Last Starfighter.
You know
Yeah.
what? You know what I want to see a remake of? Buckaroo Banzai.
In the sixth dimension or whatever it was.
Yeah, dude, that was so sick.
That was that Peter Weller?
I believe so. Yeah.
In my mind, when I was a kid, I remember seeing that in the theater and putting Peter Weller in the same box as Jeff Goldblum. So for years, I thought that Jeff Goldblum was Buckaroo Banzai.
That's because Jeff Goldblum was in the movie.
Okay, so it's been a long time. I saw it in the theater, Neff. You weren't born yet, so I don't remember. I need to go revisit Buckaroo Banzai, unless
Yes, you
it's
do.
a completely
It's awesome.
inappropriate movie, which is very, very
Probably.
possible.
if we're doing like, I don't know if this is what we're talking about, but I'm just taking what Neff was just talking about. If we're talking about like if you could remake a movie from the 80s that hasn't been remade yet, or a sequel to it, I feel like the perfect answer, even though the main star is no longer with us, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh,
They did do a
Yeah.
they did do a sequel book.
Yeah.
But just with all the new animation that has come out since then, you can have like all the like cartoon shows that are real popular, even some of the movies, and you can really have fun with it if you can do it right.
They'd probably do it with video game characters, and it would lose something in the translation. Now I don't.
You know what? Sequels. Who it's almost like a reboot every like 10 years or 20 years or so. But every single entry has been really cool. Tron.
Can I just pause? I disagree with you, but that's not what we're here to talk about tonight. Because I don't want to fight with you about Tron. I'm glad that you like Tron.
I do.
You enjoy it. But I want to go back to what you just said, Stephen, about Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That movie came out in what, 88?
80, yeah, it was what Robert Zemeckis did in between Back to the Future and Back to the Future Part 2.
Somebody Google when Who Framed Roger Rabbit took place, because I'm imagining early 40s.
Maybe.
Mid 40s. So what we're saying right now is the time between when that movie took place and when it came out is shorter than the time between when that movie came out and today.
1947.
So okay,
it was 40 years.
So it was 40 years. So and that movie came out more than like
if it came out in 87, then it would have been 39 years ago. So it would have been the same. It would have been So here's another thing.
That's wild to think like this movie about those old days is the same. Like we'd have to go back to 1987.
This isn't a movie that came out in the 80s, but it took place in the 80s. Do you remember The Wedding Singer?
Yeah.
So if they were gonna make The Wedding Singer today, what year would that movie take place in?
So probably 2000.
2013.
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
It was 1998. Took place in 85.
That's crazy.
So yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's crazy how different 85 was to 98.
Yeah.
But also, even just outside of just technology and like TikTok, 2013 is not as big of a stark difference between the two.
Yeah, take off my Chemical Romance shirt. You're gonna jinx the band and they'll break up. Well, so since we're talking about movies tonight and we're that kind of crossover between then and now, we're gonna play a quick game. So you guys can write down your answers. This is just kind of more for fun. So once it plays, you guys can shout it out. We're gonna give everyone a chance at home to play along too. And I'm bringing in my old buddy, the AI professor here, and we're gonna play a game called Doing Lines in the 80s. Because I've got a bunch of movie lines, and you guys are going to help me figure out what those movie lines are, obviously. Yeah.
I think Rodney has a cold.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play some movie lines from the 1980s, and if you know the answer, just write it down. Now, there's a couple things you need to be aware of. Some of these lines did not come from the 80s. They're decoys. So if it didn't come from the 80s, you're just going to have to say, hey, that didn't come from the 80s. If it did, you're going to have to tell me what movie it's from. And for a bonus point, you can tell me who said it, all right? So you character or actor.
Okay.
All right, so here we go. And I have a lot of these.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for this.
So AI Professor, take it away.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
All right. I think writing this down is going to take too long, so let's just give it a second and then just tell me if you know what it is. Just speak up.
I know what it is.
All right, go for it.
It was Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing.
Did she say it?
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
I thought Patrick Swayze said it.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Patrick Swayze said
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
Well, you know what? Professor AI said it. I'll give you a point for, Dirty Dancing.
I didn't get the
I always
get the bonus.
They're not the same movie, but I always get Dirty Dancing, Footloose, and Flashdance. All three of those confused.
They are the same movie. Surprise. It was they just had different boxes at the video cassette place.
It's like Pocahontas, Fern Gully, and Avatar. It's just the same.
They're the same movie. All right, second one.
I'll be back.
Terminator.
Terminator.
The Terminator from The Terminator. Year 1984. Here we go.
Here's looking at you, kid.
That's not from the 80s.
That's not from the 80s. That is Casablanca.
1947?
1942.
42.
Yeah, here we go.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
That's from the 80s. That's Journey.
It is. All right, you guys
movie.
just got a little swerve. We put some song lyrics in here, too. Keep you on your toes.
Like,
all right.
Is there a movie that said that?
Yeah, definitely from the 80s. No, we're going to keep you guys guessing here a little bit. But that was a song lyric. You might find a couple of those loose in here, too.
Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
That is the 80s. That is Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Keep your own score here if you guys want to, if you're able to do so.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
That's a
Eurythmics.
Yeah. The Sweet Dreams.
Sweet Dreams, the Eurythmics. Yeah. All right.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Jaws.
That's the 70s.
From 1975, and that was Chief Brody.
That is Chief Brody from 1975. So not 80s. Not 80s.
Say hello to my little friend.
That's
Tony
Scarface.
Montana.
Tony Montana.
1983.
1983. Yeah, absolutely. Good job, Stephen.
I want to dance with somebody. I want to feel the heat with somebody.
That's Whitney Houston.
And he mispronounced it. I want to feel the heat with somebody.
It sounds weird when AI Professor says it, right?
It's a bit uncomfortable.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
That's The Godfather.
Also the 70s.
Also
1976.
72.
72. Oh.
72.
I'll get some of them right.
Wax on, wax off.
That's The Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Karate
Mr.
Kid.
Miyagi.
Who said it?
Mr. Miyagi.
Mr. Miyagi.
And
Or blended.
yeah.
1984.
Every breath you take, every move you make.
The police.
I'll be watching you.
Well, no, the police asked Diddy about that.
Wait a minute, that's funny because Diddy made a song.
Yes, that's the joke.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that was the police. Every breath you take.
I see dead people
That is
walking around like regular people.
Haley Joel Osment.
Is it
That's a
or
Sixth Sense.
it's Christopher Walken from The Dead Zone, an '80s movie.
Yeah, that was definitely 1999, The Sixth Sense.
This is your brain. This is your brain on drugs.
Any questions?
Any questions?
Ronald Reagan.
That is a PSA from TV.
Yeah, Partnership for
David
Drug-Free
S.
America.
Pumpkins.
1987.
Any questions?
There are going to be some 80s movies on this 80s movie.
Roads?
Oh.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
It's Back to the Future.
Back to the
Doc
Future.
McBrown.
Did you fall asleep in the middle of answering that question?
I went to say Doc Brown and Marty McFly at the same time, and my brain kind of shorted out for a second.
I'm king of the world.
That's the '90s. That's Titanic.
Very, very good. Very good.
We're not worthy. We're not worthy.
Wayne's World.
Wayne's World.
1994. That was Wayne and Garth.
1992.
Wait, that's the 84 or 94?
No, you said 94.
94.
You said 94.
I feel the need for speed.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun, 1986.
There's no crying in baseball.
League of
That's
Their
League of
Own.
Their Own.
Their own.
Tom Hanks. That was
Jimmy
1991.
Dugan.
80s or no?
I think it was 90s. I
No.
think
That was
it was
90s.
No,
1991.
it was
I think it's
1992.
90s.
1992.
Yeah, all right. If it's not 80s, you got to let me know.
Be my playground.
That's right. That was Martika, who was on Kids Incorporated in the 80s.
Oh.
Oh, no, that was Madonna.
That was Madonna.
Who was it? Oh, Toy Soldiers. That was
Toy
Martika.
Soldier, yeah.
Martika.
Left, right, left,
Heart to heart.
Keep it going.
Battle rages on
for
like
toy soldiers.
Are you serious?
Bit by bit.
I am serious. And don't call me
Sure,
Shirley.
it's Airplane.
Airplane.
It is the
The
80s.
70s.
Well, which is it?
The 70s.
80.
I could have
Is it
sworn it was
1980?
1980.
Yeah.
Right on the line.
Well,
Right
I'm
on the
thinking
line.
Kareem
about
Abdul-Jabbar was in it.
The movie that it's parodying
Wait,
came out.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in it.
Yeah.
Roger. Check your vector, Victor.
Do you like Gladiators?
Clarence.
All right.
This town needs an enema.
That's 1989 Batman.
That is 1989
That was the
Batman.
That was the
That
Joker.
was the Joker. You
This
guys-
town
you
needs
guys are
an
doing
enema.
really great at this. We're almost done.
You can't handle the truth.
That is the 90s. That's also Jack Nicholson. That's in A Few Good Men.
Few good men. Good job. Good job.
If you build it, he will come.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams.
That is
That
from
was
the
Kevin
90s.
Costner.
That's
That
Kevin
was in the
Costner.
90s, I
92?
93. Or 89.
80. Yeah, I'd say 89, 88, maybe 90.
Ollie?
I'll say 89.
It was 89. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys got it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Good job. Good job. Yeah, I just want to make sure you guys got like a confident answer there. Okay. 32.
Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood.
That's Thriller.
Thriller.
By Mike
Michael
Jackson.
And who
Well,
spoke the line?
Vincent Price.
It was Vincent Price. Yeah. Good job.
I'm not bad. I'm just drawn that way.
Oh, that's
Oh,
Jessica Rabbit,
Jessica Rabbit.
1987.
From Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
For Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
It was 1988.
1988.
1988.
Close enough.
Yeah, it was close enough.
You've got to ask yourself one question. Do I feel
Dirty
lucky?
Harry, 70s.
Is it Dirty Harry or is it the what's the movie with Dirty Harry? Because Dirty Harry is the character's name, and there's only one movie called Dirty Harry.
And that was
out of
Dirty
this-
Harry. That was the first one. That was
Is
that was
the one where he
based.
says
that
a
was-
line though.
I think so. That was yes, because that's based off of the Zodiac killings. Like Dirty Harry is like the main detective from the actual
What was the Dirty Harry movie with the remote control car?
toys.
No, there was one that had the little remote control car with the bomb on. I think it was the Deadpool.
Something like that.
It came out. I think that was the one that the song. I think Welcome. I'm train of thought here. The song like Welcome to the Jungle was in that movie. I don't know. All right, somebody in the Nerd of God Squad's gonna figure it out. But yeah, that was Dirty Harry,
Okay.
1971.
Okay.
So definitely not
I
80s.
thought Welcome to the Jungle was Terminator 2.
No, that was You Could Be Mine.
Okay.
Yeah.
tell him about the Twinkie.
That's Ghostbusters, 1984.
That
Or
was
1985.
Ghostbusters.
1985.
Who said it?
What about the Twinkie? Who said it?
Oh, no.
Ray Stantz?
No, that's Winston.
That's a big. That's
Winston. Winston did
What about
say
the Twinkie?
What about the Twinkie? All right, almost done. A few more left.
Carpe diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary.
Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society.
That is Robin Williams.
80s or no?
Yes.
No,
Yes.
Yes.
I think it's 1990
8.
or 1991.
You got a split decision
I think
here.
it's one of those.
the 80s.
Ollie, break the tie, bro. 80s or no?
I think that was early 90s.
It was 1989.
Oh.
I stand for
Ronnie
Oh,
gets
Captain, my Captain.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Fat guy in a little coat.
Tommy
That's
Boy.
Tommy
Tommy
Boy.
Boy. 95.
Indeed.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
Oh, that's Jumanji.
I had to use the edited version. I'm sorry, guys. I just want to play it again because it tickles me.
I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
This is my favorite version of the Stanley.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Snakes on a
And
plane.
Snakes
On
Snakes on
the-
a plane.
On the WB's edit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Snakes on a plane.
80s or no?
No.
No.
Like 2007.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's 2006.
We've got to hold on to what we've got. It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not.
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Living
It
on a
is Bon
prayer.
Jovi, Living on a Prayer, 87.
I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, "Hurry, boy, it's waiting there for you."
Oh, Africa by Toto.
It is Africa by Toto.
Very good enough.
I'm going to tell you, you guys have really, like, I'll say even you younger guys have really impressed me with your grip of this 80s culture. And I think that is to the point that I'm trying to make tonight, is that the 80s were the best time to grow up in because it's still on the cultural radar today. The 70s didn't have that kind of staying power. It remains to be seen if the 90s will continue to have that kind of staying power, but largely I don't think it will. I think the 80s was peak. We're going to create something that's going to endure the test of time. Mm-hmm. And I think that's something that I'm proud of, having been there in real time while it happened. So let me ask you guys this, just around the table. What's the most 80s thing that you own?
I have a VHS copy, like original VHS copy of Back to the Future.
Okay. I went to
from the
Pastor Rodney Cannon's church this morning, and in front of his desk, he has a VHS box of like 90 VHS tapes.
I do, yes. Old home movies and football games recorded off of television.
There are young people. There are people listening to this show now that have never watched a VHS tape.
And this is more for the younger crew that's with us tonight. But I think probably the VHS cassettes that you guys maybe watched the most were the Orange Rugrats tapes. Did y'all watch that?
I watched those, but you have to understand that my sister lived through the 80s, so a lot of what I was subject to were her VHS tapes.
But
Yeah.
With a clamshell.
Listen, I think I stopped buying my movie collection on VHS tape probably in like 2001.
Oh yeah, I mean they were making movies in 2006 that were coming out in VHS.
I didn't jump over to DVD until I got my PlayStation 2, and that was in what, 2000, 2001?
2001, 2002.
Yeah, so like that's crazy, like to think that the VHS endured that long. Yeah, that's so wild. All right, so VHS tape. What's the most 80s thing that you own, Ollie?
I was gonna say it's a VH tape of my wedding, but that was again shot in 2002. So
Your wedding?
yeah,
Are you sure?
yes, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, anybody have a non-VHS based item?
I have an open pack of Ghostbusters cards.
Oh,
Like playing
did you open
cards.
it to chew the bubble gum out of it?
I did.
I mean,
Did I eat it? Yes.
That bubble gum wasn't even good then.
No, and it disintegrated immediately in my mouth.
Do you
It was
remember bubble gum
horrifying.
cards?
Yes.
Oh my god,
It was horrifying. I spit it out immediately, but it was worth it. I had to do it for the culture.
Ollie.
It's was right on the edge of the 80s though, but I still have my Super Nintendo with a what is it? Mortal Kombat cartridge.
I don't think
I
the
think
Super Nintendo came out in the
I think
80s.
it came out
No,
in
it did.
91.
It was that's what I said. It was right on the border.
Yeah, I think that's
like,
still
a little bit
90s.
over.
It's still 90s.
Yeah.
It doesn't count. Doesn't count.
Okay, sorry.
Doesn't count.
I do have a.
If you had a Sega Genesis, I'd let it pass.
Oh, okay.
I do have a Back to the Future 2 Marty McFly on a hoverboard McDonald's toy.
Oh,
Still in the
But
package.
was it from the movie Back to the Future 2 or was it from the animated series?
I don't know. You gave it to me.
I think it's from the animated series.
Oh well, then okay.
Yeah.
Well then you would know. You gave it to me.
I
so-
I didn't know I did. Good,
Oh.
good on me being a good friend.
I have a couple comic books from the 80s.
Okay.
I have the Terminator, the original Terminator comic book series.
I have the Dark Knight Returns.
That's also not 80s.
It was-
Oh, The Dark Knight
Shooter
Returns.
one.
Yeah.
I thought for some you Dark Knight Returns, I was thinking the movie.
I have the Dark Knight Rises.
The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I have that.
From 2012.
No
of
one
course.
cared who I was until I put on this VHS tape.
You're talking about a Rotten Tomato score, right?
yeah,
'Cause that's in the 80s.
That's it. That's in the 80s.
No, I have a ton of comics from the 80s.
Yeah, yeah.
Early 80s comics. But
Yeah.
I also have some of the like Burger King collector's glasses.
Yeah, what do you
that
have?
just with the characters, like Burger King on them.
Uh-huh.
I'm drawing a blank now at which ones I've got. But I do. It's game systems. I do still have my original Nintendo and Sega Master System.
Oh,
I was
wow.
late to the game with Nintendo. I was always the guy. You know, this is we're going back a decade in Nerd of Godcast conversation here.
Yeah.
But my mom got me GoBots because Transformers were too expensive.
Yeah.
So
GoBots were
I
the
didn't get
original one.
I didn't get Nintendo. I got Sega, and I loved the Sega Master System.
Yeah,
I
bro, it was a
played the
great
mess
system.
out of that thing.
I just saw the other day, and I don't know how I missed this at the time, but I had a Genesis. I never had a Master System. But that there was an adapter that you could buy that you could play
Yeah.
Master System games on the Genesis, and I never knew that existed because there were some great Master System games.
Oh yeah. They Sega made great games. They just didn't have the licensing to do all the games that Nintendo did, so they couldn't last. But those games,
They
the
made
ones
that
came
Rocky.
with
They
it,
made that Rocky game though, and that Rocky game was kicking.
I played Rocky for hours.
Loved
but the
it.
one that came with it had like a dual. It had Hang On, the motorcycle game, and Astro Warrior, which was just a flying through space shooting stuff game. I still go to online to a mod and play that game about once a month.
Bro, listen, I'll play Space Harrier. I'll play Afterburner. I love those Sega games.
Afterburner was the jam.
Afterburner was so
because
good.
it came out right around Top Gun, so
Yeah, absolutely.
I was Maverick.
Yeah, of course you were. Why wouldn't you be? I used to just sit behind. I didn't have quarters at the time, so I would just sit behind whoever was playing it and face the opposite direction and be Goose. So I was like, just while you're playing, could you just say, "Talk to me, Goose," at some point? Turn and burn. I have the need for speed, please. I have, and it's probably not like retro. I have a lot of stuff from the '80s because I don't like to get rid of stuff, but I still have my Power Glove. And that
Oh yeah.
So
I always
bad.
wanted a
So
Power
bad.
Glove.
so red, so bad. So yeah, there's a lot of cool '80s stuff out there that just it's nostalgic, it's fun, it's kitschy, and I think it's great. I think that when we start to see stuff that's coming out now, and it's kind of we're beyond, I think, the window maybe of nostalgia, peak nostalgia, but more '80s stuff is still coming. So things like, you ever watch the show The Goldbergs?
Yeah.
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 It's like '80s Wonder Years, right? Like a little more funny, right? But it's steeped deeply in the pop culture of the '80s.
Kind of like Fresh Off the Boat is for the 90s.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And then Wonder Woman did her turn in the '80s in
We don't talk
'84.
about it. We don't
Okay,
talk
we
about
won't talk about it. We won't talk about it. But Stranger Things just finished.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think that was single-handedly more responsible for bringing '80s culture to the front of the mind of Gen Alpha. Those Gen Y kids. I don't know what the generations are.
Gen Y is millennial.
The Gen Zs. The kids that are they're too young to have their parents remember it, but they don't remember it.
Yeah.
Your kids, my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they're caught up in '80s culture because of Stranger Things, right? No other generation gets that kind of love.
Well, I mean, you can make the argument that because the kids of the 80s are now the adults that are prominently making things, like the Duffer Brothers who grew up in the 80s did Stranger Things, you could make the argument that in the next 5 to 10 years, the 90s would then have that same kind of a heyday.
'Cause in the
Although
80s
I do think the 80s are more iconic. I obviously love the 90s. That was my decade that I lived every year through. But, 80s probably has the more overarching when it comes to like music and movies and specifically cartoons.
Yeah, I think that the childhood memories of the 80s have more staying power than those of the 90s. And that doesn't mean the 90s didn't have like some really high peak moments. I mean, the Power Rangers were very, very 1990s, and a lot of the
TGIF.
They've had a lot of chances to kind of reboot those things, but the footprint of Fuller House which actually was, I think that show came out in 87 or something.
Yeah, it started in the
It can only go so far. I don't know how they're going to be able to mine the 90s to the peaks that they did the 80s, even throwaway stuff from the 80s. Like there was so many different like offshoot things. One of the things I wanted to do tonight was say, is this real or is this made up? Because there were so many things from the 80s, like do you get the Shirt Tail Gang. It's a bunch of animals
I remember Shirt Tails.
who all wore shirt tails, and or Jace and the Wheeled Warriors, the Turbo Kid. There's all these weird things from the 80s that just they seem like good ideas at the time. They made an animated series about the Rubik's Cube, where the Rubik's Cube was just a little alien, and he just helped kids on their adventure. But it was all about the Rubik's Cube. It was the thinnest tie-in that they could possibly have to a non-anthropomorphic puzzle cube.
Or the abomination that was the Wuzzles.
What was the Wuzzles?
The Wuzzles was if you took two animals and you smushed them together on the island of Dr. Moreau and gave them, little interactions in a society where Rhinoki, he was half rhino, half monkey.
Bumble Lion.
He was half bumblebee and half lion.
Okay, so it's like
Hipparoo.
So it's like the amalgam comics, but with animals.
It is. It's kind of like somebody left the cages open at the zoo and gave them a little put on some sexy music and said, just see what happens.
Put on some Luther Vandross and have at it.
I think there's something that's special about the 80s because it was the last pure generation of practical effects, the tangible things and puppets, and there was warmth. It felt real because we didn't at that time. You couldn't really lean on CGI. You couldn't really lean on a lot of those things. It had to be something that was kind of based in. I don't know. I'm not trying to pull out, Philippians 4:8 or whatever. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right. But that's kind of what it feels like. It felt real. And when you start seeing movies like Jurassic Park come in, I think the culture shifted a little bit. Even though a lot of that was practical too, they're like, well, what can we go? How far can we go? How far can we stretch this? And even when you look back and say some of this stuff from the 80s was really cheesy, there was still something that was just, I don't know, authentic about it.
Well, and we were also limited, whereas in the 90s you had the advent of the internet, and it's hard to have so many peaks like that when you have access to everything that right at your fingertips. In the 80s, we didn't have that. Mm-hmm. If you wanted to know what was going to be on TV, you bought a TV guide.
That's right. When's this movie playing? I've got to go buy a newspaper to find out.
I've got to call and wait until the recording repeats.
Yeah. It's wild to think about it like that.
Wait in line for a ticket.
If I want to watch this show, I've got to be home at this time on this day.
On the day.
Or I have to be a fancy rich person that has a VCR that you can program. It was a very different time, man. And maybe that was the last pure generation when the world was like that. And things began to change. The connectivity of email and the internet and mobile devices, everything became connected in a different way that just didn't feel, I don't know, as real. And I'm saying this as someone who's there, and I don't necessarily pine for those days. I don't want to call somebody by walking up to a telephone that is hanging on the wall, so I have to stand in my kitchen and I have to dial by putting my I'm bored by the time I have to finish dialing the number because it takes so long. I don't want to go back to those days. We're sitting there, we'll be at dinner in the 80s and we'll have a conversation. Oh, who was in that movie? And then it's like, well, we don't know. Well, then now we'll never know. We either have to wait until that movie, it comes on TV, or we'll have to go to the library and look it up because I don't want to go back to that. But having lived there was really, really special. Mm-hmm. It was really special.
Agreed.
So you guys have your boards. We're going to do something it's a fun little 80s game. All right, so number your boards 1 to 10.
Okay.
And we're going to do something. This might be a wonderful idea. This might be a terrible idea. But we're going to see it through. What we're going to do is we're going to try to figure out what year of the 80s was the best year of the entire decade. And you're going to do it by blind ranking the years.
Okay.
Well, by that I mean I'm going to give you the year. I'm going to give you what happened in that year, and you're going to tell me where you think it fits in 1 to 10. Like, oh, that was the best, so I'm going to put that higher up, or that was the worst, I'm going to put that lower down. And at the end, we're going to see how it all plays out. And the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to give you the best movies of the year. I'm going to give you the best songs of the year, and I'm going to give you the best video games of the year. And you can look at that and judge it by which of those are most iconic, the songs that are still played, the video games that are still played, how many of them are still quoted or rewatched or rebooted. Did this year have a creative outpour that launched franchises or redefined genres? Could you make a full movie night out of movies just from this year? When you think of the 80s, yes, this is the picture. So we're going to start blind ranking the years. All right, so the first one we'll start with is 1980. In 1980, John Lennon was assassinated and Ronald Reagan was elected the U.S. president. The top songs were Call Me by Blondie, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2 by Pink Floyd, Magic by Olivia Newton-John, Rock With You by Michael Jackson, and Crazy Little Thing Called Love by Queen. The top movies was Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back, 9 to 5, Airplane, and Stir Crazy, and the top games were Pac-Man, Asteroids, Missile Command, and Space Invaders. So and that's a big year. That's a lot going on in that year.
The games redeemed it for me.
Okay.
Because everything else about 1980 has it low on my list.
Wasn't Empire Strikes Back? Didn't give it a little bit of a boost? That's all right.
No, it did, but yeah.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so you're blind ranking the year. Put that wherever you find, and 1 being the best, 10 being the weakest. And here we go, 1981, the year that MTV launched, and the top songs were Betty Davis Eyes, Endless Love, Lady, Jesse's Girl, and Physical, also by Olivia Newton-John. Top movies were Raiders of the Lost Ark, On Golden Pond, Superman 2, Arthur, and Stripes.
On Golden Pond was Best Picture winner that year.
And the top games were Donkey Kong, Galaga, Frogger, Defender, and Tempest. So blind rank 1981.
1981 was also the release of the DeLorean.
Okay.
If that helps.
It does not, but it's good. The best practical use of the DeLorean didn't come until 1985. 1982. Top songs of 82 were Still Physical by Olivia Newton-John, Eye of the Tiger.
She made a sequel?
It's just Still Physical. I Love Rock and Roll, and Ebony and Ivory. Top movies were E.T. the Extraterrestrial, Tootsie, An Officer and a Gentleman, and Rocky 3. And the top games were Dig Dug, Cubert, Pole Position, and Pitfall! Pitfall. Boo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. If you know, you know. All right, so we're ranking 1982. 83. Top songs of 83 were Every Breath You Take by the Police, Billie Jean by Michael Jackson, Flashdance, ellipsis, What a Feeling, Down Under, and Beat It. Top movies were Return of the Jedi, Terms of Endearment, Flashdance, and War Games, and Trading Places. And the top games were Mario Brothers, that's non-Super Mario Brothers, Star Wars, Track and Field, and Dragon's Lair. God bless those Laserdisc games. That was 1983. Rank it. 1984, we re-elected Ronald Reagan, and the top songs were When Doves Cry, What's Love Got to Do with It, Jump, Karma Chameleon, and Like a Virgin. Top movies of 1984 were Ghostbusters, Beverly Hills Cop, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, Gremlins, and The Karate Kid. And the top games of the year. And this is a weird one because we get to a certain point where games dip. You can tell, I think, that this is in the middle of the collapse of the game industry because there were almost no great arcade games in this. Most of the games that kind of came out at this time were either a little more lackluster or they were like PC games. But Karate Champ, Excite Bike, Duck Hunt, and King's Quest were the top games of 1984. Blind ranking 85, top songs, Careless Whisper, Like a Virgin, Wake Me Up Before You Go, Go, and I Want to Know What Love Is. I want you to show me. Top movies are Back to the Future, Rambo, First Blood Part 2, Rocky 4, The Color Purple, and Out of Africa. And the top games are Super Mario Brothers, Gradius, Ghosts and Goblins, and Commando.
Some other movies that came out in 1985 was Clue, The Goonies,
Steven?
and I'm just adding to it.
Gently, gently. 1986, the year the Challenger blew up, and also the year of the Chernobyl nuclear accident. Top songs are That's What Friends Are For, Say You, Say Me, How Will I Know, and Party All the Time. Top movies were Top Gun, Crocodile Dundee, Platoon, the kids love that one, Karate Kid Part 2, and Aliens. And now this one gets a little tricky because the top games of that year were not released in the U.S. See, Japan kind of had their video game revolution a little bit before America did, so the release of The Legend of Zelda took place in 1986, but only in Japan. The release of Metroid was in 1986, but only in Japan. We did get Sega's Outrun, Bubble Bobble, and Castlevania. So blind rank, 1986. 87, top songs, Walk Like an Egyptian, Alone, Shake You Down, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, a song that alternately goes from one of my favorite songs to one of my least favorite songs, just depending on what's happening when I hear it. Top movies in 1987 were Fatal Attraction, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Good Morning Vietnam, The Untouchables, and Dirty Dancing. And the top games were Mega Man, Final Fantasy, Contra, Double Dragon, and Punch-Out! 1988, George H.W. Bush was elected president, and the top songs were Faith, Need You Tonight, Got My Mind Set on You, Sweet Child, Oh Mine, and I Want to Dance with Somebody. Top movies were Rain Man, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Coming to America, Die Hard, and Beetlejuice. So many of these movies were remade in the past couple of years, and there were Die Hard movies, and they did a Coming to America one, Beetlejuice. I can't say it one more time, though, or he'll show up. And the top games were Super Mario Bros. 2, Mega Man 2, Ninja Gaiden, Altered Beast, Rise from Your Grave, and Blades of Steel, which was one of my favorite sports games of all time. And we finally come to the end of our list. Please blind rank 1989. Songs are Look Away, My Prerogative, Every Rose Has Its Thorns, Straight Up, and Like a Prayer. Top movies were Batman, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Back to the Future Part 2, Ghostbusters Part 2, and Dead Poets Society. The top games were Tetris, thanks to the Game Boy, Ninja Turtles, SimCity, Golden Axe, and DuckTales. All right. So let's blind rank. Now that we've blind ranked these years, welcome back, Neff. Ollie, tell us what your top 3 years were.
I have 86, 84, and 83.
86 was your top year. Yes. Anybody else have 86 as their top year?
No.
No? All right. So, Stephen, what were your top 3 years?
1985, 1989, and 1983.
All right. And Rodney?
89, 87, 85.
Wow. All right. So 85. Did you have 85 in your top 3, Ollie?
No.
No.
Oh, no. Top 5?
Top 3?
Top 3, no.
Yeah, okay. All right, so there's a little bit of disparity there. Let's look at the bottom ones. What is your number 10, Ollie?
82.
Steven?
1980.
And Rodney?
80.
80. 80 is the weakest. All right, so this is just something I was interested to see, kind of how this would play out. So can we agree on maybe kind of like a top 3 best years of the 80s? Ollie, one more time. What's your list? Top 3.
86, 84, 83.
So who has anybody else have 86, 84, or 83 in your top 3?
83 is number.
I have 84.
Neff was only here for 5 of the years. 83, and then I think we had 85 a couple times.
Yeah, I have 89 and 85 are also my top.
So
top
the best years, according to us in this very scientific study, were 1983, 1985, and 1989, which is nice. It gives the 80s a couple years off in between good years, and I think that's what the 80s needed. So we're going to close this thing out tonight, and I've got a couple little bits of fun. And the way we're going to do this, if Pastor Rodney would not be opposed to opening up your Bible app to the book of Psalms, and I would love for you to pick one of the Psalms that are in the 80s. Psalm 80 through 89. Just pick one of them, and if you would be kind enough to read a psalm for us tonight from the 80s, I think the people would be blessed.
All right.
Dealer's choice.
The entire psalm?
Yeah. If this is crazy long, but
Okay. Let's go with 89, since that was
your number one year?
My number 1 year.
Okay. Psalm 89.
I will sing of the Lord's unfailing love forever. Young and old will hear of your faithfulness. Your unfailing love will last forever. Your faithfulness is as enduring as the heavens. The Lord said, I have made a covenant with David, my chosen servant. I have sworn this oath to him. I will establish your descendants as kings forever. They will sit on your throne from now until eternity. All heaven will praise your great wonders, Lord. Myriads of angels will praise you for your faithfulness. For who in all heaven can compare with the Lord? What mightiest angel is anything like the Lord? The highest angelic powers stand in awe of God. He is far more awesome than all who surround his throne. O Lord God of heaven's armies, where is there anyone as mighty as you, O Lord? You are entirely faithful.
Wow, that's good. That's good. So we want to challenge you guys out there, if you've listened this far through our ranting and raving about the decade of the 80s, we want to challenge you to make it a spiritual point this week, as in between now and our next episode, to read through all of the Psalms that are in the 80s. Every day as you're kind of maybe taking your quiet time, or if you've not been as disciplined about that as you ought to be, let's jump into this with I love Jesus because I love the 80s, right? So let's, as you have your quiet time, maybe throw a Psalm in there every day. When you wake up in the morning, open up your Bible app, and jump into Psalm 80, 81, 82, 83, all the way through to 89, and let's just spend that time with the Lord, reflect on the thoughts and on the inspiration of God's Word there, and that'll be your homework assignment this week, is to read the Psalms from the 80s. Can I get an amen from the congregation?
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Well, we are going to put the wheels down and we're going to close this out, but we're going to keep this interactive party going because we want to know what you think about the 80s, and there are a lot of icons of the 1980s, and we're going to be doing a thing called You're the Best Around. And if you get it, you get it, all right? If you're the best around, and you're the best around,
nothing's gonna ever bring you down.
Yeah. So we're going to crown an icon of the 80s, and this is where we're going to do it. You guys swing over to our Patreon page. That's patreon.com/Nerd of Godcast, patreon.com/Nerd of Godcast. That's where we have exclusive content available for for those that financially support. But we're going to make this a free post, so you can find it on there. Even if you're not a financial supporter, you can be a part of it. We're going to put up a Pub Meeple poll, which lets you have like a this or that, and it's going to go down a list of 20 icons of the 80s, and you're going to get to go through that list and say, okay, I like this one over this one, I like this one over this one. It's probably going to ask you to make like 48 choices, I think the number is, and by the time it comes through, it'll give you your ranking of who you think the greatest icon to come out of the 1980s is. So I'll give you the list of our contestants right now. You can go over to patreon.com/Nerd of Godcast, and you can vote in who is the best around. This is a personal decision, but we'd love to know who came out on top for you. Our list, and this is in alphabetical order by their first name, and if there's somebody I missed, let me know. I don't mind adding them to this list. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Brooke Shields.
Oh, these are real people, not like characters.
These are real people.
Okay.
David Hasselhoff, Eddie Murphy, Eddie Van Halen, Harrison Ford, Hulk Hogan, brother, Michael J. Fox, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Mike Tyson, Molly Ringwald, Mr. T, Patrick Swayze, Princess Diana, Ralph Macchio, Ronald Reagan,
The actor?
Sylvester Stallone, Tom Cruise, and William the Refrigerator Perry. Wait, did I miss somebody?
Steve Gutenberg.
Steve Gutenberg, Mahoney.
He was the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, if
Three Men and a Baby.
Yeah.
I wish
Police
if
Academy.
I could take him off and I could just put number 5 on there from Short Circuit. I'll add Steve Gutenberg. Who do we cut off the list?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Put Magic Johnson or Larry Bird, one of those two in there.
Or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, if you need a sports figure.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's a 90s guy.
He played 4 years of basketball in the 80s, but he was more prominent and more dominant in the 90s.
Yeah.
He won all of his championships in the 90s.
All right, listen, I don't care about sports ball that much, but Nerd of God Squad, if you have a problem, you can blame Neff and Steven that I just cut Michael Jordan and added Steve Gutenberg. All right, that is on them and not on me. But you can vote for who the best around is at patreon.com/nerdofgodcast. Thank you so much for listening tonight. We're so glad that you were able to be with us. We hope that you had a great time. If you've got some favorite 80s memories or some things that you wish you were there for in real time, please let us know. Connect with us. We love to have conversations with you and talk about this kind of stuff on our Nerd of God Squad page on Facebook. You can get the link to all that and everything else Nerd of Godcast at nerdofgodcast.com. Super easy and accessible and available from any internet connected device. Pastor Rodney Cannon, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
It's great. Thanks for having me.
This has been an amazing day. I actually got to skip church today and go to your church, and I had a really great time.
So that's where you were.
That's where
I was wondering where you were.
I was with Pastor Mayor Rodney Cannon and with Lindsay Cannon and with all the other little baby cannons.
I was wondering why we just had a screen come down and it was like a video of you preaching.
That's right.
That's what churches do, right?
That is exactly what churches do. So we had a great time hanging out together, and we got to hang out together tonight too. So it's doubling down on the cannons. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad. For the rest of everybody else, thank you guys so much for being with us tonight. Please, if you're listening and you enjoy this kind of show and nerdy stuff, share this with a friend. Let them know that they can get involved in nerdy Jesus conversations right here on the Nerd of Godcast. And if you love it, you can please leave us a review. We love stars, especially when they come in
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 is exactly right. Next time, be with us. We're going to be on the road to MegaCon, and we're going to be talking about some of our outreach opportunities this year. Until then, we love you guys. God bless you guys. For the Nerd of Godcast, I'm Tony T. For Steve-O Supremo.
Stay fresh, cheese bags.
Jamaican Ollie.
Irie.
Quentin Gregory Neff.
Who you gonna call?
Nick the engineer.
Goodbye.
And Pastor Mayor Rodney Cannon.
Woohoo!
And Nikisha on the camera. Breakfast Club forever. Until next time, we ain't got to go home,
But we can't stay here.